Paulo, Donny, got our guest as well. Back again for a second one. It's the second part, actually.
Yeah, second part.
Fairly serious topic to talk about, but I think it's one that's needed. So obviously, recently in America, they've reversed or gone back on their abortion law. So now I think it's illegal to have an abortion in America. It's very, very, very dangerous to be playing with that, obviously, to get like a woman's opinion as well, because we as men can sit here and talk about it, but we're not going to understand it the same way.
Not at all, not at all.
Not at all.
It's true.
Yeah. So like, as a woman, for you, what is your kind of thoughts on that, just off of that title, or were you just seeing, without even reading anything about it?
That's it. Let's read it. That alone should just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's I feel like it's a contradiction of living in a time where you had like the hashtag Me Too movement, and where women who were victims of sexual abuse or rape or whatever it might have been, being able to have a voice like, this happened to me, kind of thing. And obviously it exposed a lot of celebrities, it exposed a lot of people who were hired in power to say, you know what, this is what they did to me, kind of thing. So now to say you're going to take away the rights of abortion, and that potentially could be victims of rape, sexual abuse, could be an underage person, underage female,
anything,
and you're saying no, you can't have an abortion. That's absolutely, it's just ridiculous, and it just shows like where this world's going to, where it's heading to.
It's ridiculous.
It's just heading to, you might have to say this is hell we're living in, because
100%.
as a woman now, it's like it's gone back to just being in the bottom of the pile, and I can see it happening where women are going to go back to, you don't actually have to work, you don't actually have to do this, you actually have to just be at home and actually blah blah blah. And the thing is, for some women that works for them. That works for them. Like, you know, they become mothers and they're like, actually, I just want to stay at home. And I don't have children, but when I do have children, I don't know, I might feel different if I want to stay home, just because of wanting to be that mother. But that's if I want to. I want to know that I've had the choice to do that. The same way I should have the choice if I've been raped. I don't want to have any memory of what happened to me, because every time you look at that child, you're not going to look at it as like that child came out of love. That child came out of hate and hurt.
100%.
And pain.
You'll find as well, for a lot of women as well, like obviously when women are pregnant out of choice when they have a baby, suffer with postnatal depression. Now, I would be interested to see what the link is between postnatal depression and a baby, like you say, born of rape. How common that maybe depression comes in, not loving the child. It's a very, very slippery slope to go down, really.
100%.
And to be completely honest with you, I actually disagree with anyone that tries to talk about abortion from a religion basis.
I'm not hearing that.
Because for me, listen, I'm not saying I believe in God in my own way, but if you, who was born in 1990, are listening to something that was written 60, 70,000 years ago, however many billions or whatever, with regards to abortion, like a lot of things change as centuries go on. So stuff like, for example, how things are viewed it differently. Maybe 80 years ago, it was normal for someone to be, as bad as it sounds, it was normal to get pregnant by accident and people keep it and literally say nothing. And no one really batted an eyelid to it. 200 years ago, it was normal for a woman to have no life and sit at home and just cook and clean, like, you know, and no one batted an eyelid to it because it's life. Each century,
it's different.
Changing because, of the way, how do I put this? It's all changing. Like, stuff that was accepted maybe 200 years ago is going to be accepted now. So for me personally, my opinion, like, people are reading or taking note or listening to instructions to something that was published probably thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
So when it comes to abortion, I think people should be given the choice 100%.
You have to. You can't.
And
Yeah.
I actually will say one thing. I don't think America is its own country. That place is fucked up. We're swearing like it's fucked up. But I don't actually think we, as in the UK, it will ever come to that. Personally, I don't, because I think the way the UK's run differently to. Listen, if something
that
like that happened here,
it's a long day.
They can't control
It's
people.
a
There's
long
riots.
day. I'm telling you, everyone's writing every single day without fail just to get the word across.
I believe there'll be riots. I believe there'll be
100%.
petitions left, right, and centre.
Of course.
But with the guy who's running this now, good
The
old
UK's
Boris,
Yeah.
I could see him doing it.
But you say that, but then and I don't know if he's just saying this for the sake of it, but he's already come out and said like, "What the fuck," basically.
Did he say that or
No, he
was
has
there a
come
tweet?
out, he's condemned it.
Okay,
Not
because
saying he has actually condemned it
Right.
straight away. He came out
Okay.
and said, basically, America have taken a step back by doing this.
Yeah.
Regardless of like him, Nicola Sturgeon, who's a ex-German prime minister,
yeah.
her, France, a couple of other countries that were
Yeah.
condemning what America have done, basically.
Okay, cool.
So
as long as you don't think about
obviously, listen,
doing anything mad.
I don't think there's anyone, regardless of how they are.
Mm.
Do you know what it is? Yeah? You see Boris, yeah? Boris is like, he is like too stupid to be harmful. Do you get what I mean? Like he's not Putin. Like he's not. Do you get what I'm trying to say? He's not on that smoke.
Yeah.
He's just daft. Like you'll see him riding around
Makes the wrong
West
decisions.
London on a Boris bike. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like that guy he's not planning anything naughty around the world.
I know, but it's Boris. You never know anything can happen,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying,
You
it's
don't. You
Boris.
don't know, but you don't
think
know.
he's got that in him,
I don't
like-
think you do got that in him, but it's Boris. But we don't know no more.
But here,
We don't know no
how
more.
democracy works here is important because, in terms of the abortion thing, it's got to be voted here. Now, I think UK is a lot smaller than obviously America.
Yeah.
Somewhere like here, that couldn't run. You've got to look at America. America's the size of a continent. Europe, it's the size of Europe.
Yeah.
So it's like it's very different. And at a time, they had like certain states allowed abortion, certain states didn't. So half of them didn't agree already.
Yeah.
Now they've made it a no abortion across.
But I
the
just
board.
feel that with the abortion thing as well, it's like it's in the house as well. Your own cousin could be doing, or your own uncle. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it happens.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, what do? Oh, you gotta keep it. Keep what? You can't keep. It don't make sense.
Do you know what's gonna go up in a couple of years? Maybe 2 or 3 years after this bill kicks in. Maybe even now, because probably as bad as it sounds, at this moment as we speak, somebody's probably getting raped.
100%.
So
It happens all the time.
do you get what I'm trying to say?
It's a
yeah.
joke, bro. It's
What I'm
actually a
trying
joke.
to say to you is someone at this moment in time is definitely pregnant with a child that
They don't want.
around the world that they don't want a child.
Exactly.
I'd
Yeah.
probably say at this moment in time in America, there's multiple thousands and thousands and thousands.
But I feel
right
like
now.
guys who's tapped in America are thinking, raw, this is. I like the sound of this. That it just sound, me just doing that sounded. It just felt wrong. So you got guys in America who's liking that.
The problem with this now though is impregnating someone because and raping them. The issue they've got now is they have a baby, they're fucked. No, it's a DNA thing anyway. They get caught without the baby anyway. But you have a baby with someone, and you how they can't defend themselves in court. Like you've got a baby.
It's curtains,
In
bro.
that sense, I think even before, I think rape's one of the hardest things to what's the word? Rape's one of the hardest things to
What?
I've lost the word.
To
Just
kind of see
prosecute,
why the
basically.
reason is. Yeah.
And getting actually sentencing someone.
Yeah.
It's the hardest crime
Yeah.
to basically prove, isn't it?
I've got a question for you too. You think when they were thinking of this law, do you think they were making a decision of not only just looking at obviously as females, but looking at as like class, race, particular backgrounds where certain females come from, where they're looking at a judgment,
That's
like
a
say,
good
okay,
fucking question,
is
though.
it black women that always need to get abortion? Is we look at the status, is it always black African Americans, or is it always Latino women, or is it always Asian women that needs to undercoverly go and get abortion? That, do you think they looked at it and think this is the reason why we're gonna do it?
We don't even know. We don't know. You don't know.
But
We can say no. We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. But I don't. My personal opinion, no.
I don't think so, but we don't know.
Because I think with rape, it's one of the things that doesn't have a class, doesn't have a race,
True.
doesn't have a.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
What?
It shouldn't have a class of rape, but in America it does. As
Anyone
can get raped.
I'm not saying that, but I'm
That's
saying
what
it's a thing where the class thing in it. What was that film? Oh shit.
Time to Kill.
No, it's based on a true story. Then 5 boys went to prison.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're about.
That was like 5 black boys running.
Yeah.
Oh, she got raped. Like I just feel like, could you see 5 black boys running? They're assuming this woman got raped, and then in prison for how long? The guy went to visit him and he goes, yeah, boom, I'm gonna be in prison for the rest of my life. Like I just visited. You know what I mean? It's America's tapped, bro. Obviously, over here it's different, but America, you can't. The class thing, it could be they looked at black women.
I always say this here, as British people or growing up in England.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something now. We have a lot more say so over here.
100. I personally think so.
Other
Yeah.
places, and I say that and that's in everything. Yeah. Going back to that question you asked me in a minute, which is very quickly. Like here, you can commit. If I've had an interaction with the police, I'll talk. I could talk to them like shit. They could talk to me like shit. I'll talk to them back like shit. But they'll never. It's hard to explain, but there's a certain way they'll deal with you. But you go to like somewhere like Europe, I've seen it firsthand. The policeman's there, but you can pull your camera out. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, obviously
So
it's different.
I think the way that we govern over here is massively different to everyone else. But going back to what you said, I think it depends. I think it depends. Like they probably, as bad as it sounds, they probably looked at stats.
They have, man. They have, man.
It doesn't come from stats, like because rape's rape.
Yeah, obviously, but
100%.
it's America, bro.
Yeah, they probably did base it off stats.
I personally think they did.
Like
They did. I know it sounds cold, but they did. They did.
Well,
they did,
yeah?
man.
How do you like in America? Yeah, they generalize everyone as African Americans that are black. But what if they're Jamaican?
They still class them as African American because you don't hear them say African because they don't say Caribbean, they say Caribbean. Like they just class
from one of the
as
Caribbean islands, and they still class.
they still class as African American. Yeah,
that's
because
generalizing in itself, though, isn't it?
yeah, it is. But
America's
they just look at it as every black person like, initially
Yeah.
was from Africa.
Yeah.
But then, if that's the case, every person is initially from Africa.
You'd think.
You'd think. What I'm saying? So if that's the case, do you know what I mean? X, Y, and Z. Everyone else is. You got white American Africans. You got. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
But it's America, bro. America's just tapped, bro. That's it. That's it, man. America's tapped, regardless of the situation.
That's always bugged me, even with the Latino stuff as well. Like, basically, Latin countries, is Latino is South American.
Yeah.
But they'll classify Spanish, Portuguese, all these countries as Latino, but they're not Latino countries.
Yeah.
So, like in America, for example, if you're Portuguese or Spanish or like one of these countries, you're classed as a Latino, but you're not. You're not Latino. You're South American. It's just mad how they generalize like over there, and I see it. And I'm like, the African American ones always bug me. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like, not everyone. Like, you basically just took every black person and you've gone African American.
African American.
Do you get what I mean?
But it goes back to Bane as well that we have over here. I think, is it right to say, are you going to put black people and Asian people and people of not Asian and black in the same category because they're not white? So it's kind of like you're excluding everybody else who's not Caucasian as like just other people. But then you've got to think about, well, black people and Asian people, and then people who are not of, if they're from Iraq or whoever, or Middle Eastern, they've all got their separate experiences. Yeah. They've all got their separate struggles. Like, I would never know what it's like to be an Asian woman. An Asian woman will never know what it's like to be a black woman.
Yeah, exactly.
So is it right to say we're the same because we are not white? Do you see what I'm saying? So it's the same with like with the Americans. They put everybody as African American, but you've got certain Caribbean islands and African countries that don't get on. Yeah. So they don't want to be classed as.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't want to be classed as.
No, it's true. That's true. That is so true.
And certain Asian people don't like black people.
Certain, and as well.
That's why no one don't visit America no more. If it's not that abortion thing, it's either gun crime. You're walking down the street while you're walking there. You're wearing red. You shouldn't wear red. You get shot. Like, you can't win. You cannot win, regardless.
That actually happened to someone I know here. He went to I went to a house party, and he was wearing either red or blue. I think it was red. And yeah, they stopped him. And this was UK.
Yeah, that's mad. Yeah, UK think they're in America, bro.
Only because he was wearing red. And red's my favourite colour. So it's like,
just let it go.
I know certain places I could go.
What area was this in?
Where was this? Oh gosh.
You can't.
No, I'm not even bantering. I'm genuinely interested.
It was south.
No, I'm interested.
South
like
London,
where,
yeah. Was it Wandsworth?
But I don't even think that really happens in London. Like,
I don't
think
there is. I know there is blood and Crips over here,
which is stupid.
but I don't know where. I don't want to know where.
Yeah.
But there is.
No,
there is blood and Crips over here, but it's not like America.
But that's what I'm saying, which is stupid. I think, and this is what I think is annoying about us here. We always like to copy Americans.
Do you remember before? Yeah, it was cool for certain people. Like, even growing up here, you used to see it all the time. You know when people were like rapping, like, and listening to their favorite song. Yeah. The spare man putting American accents on, or like when you go rap this, and then you're like, yeah, man,
straight man.
An American accent on.
Because that's what they like to do.
And then when grime and that got big, people didn't do that anymore. I don't think people do it as much anymore. No,
I don't know, man. It's just sad. I just hope. I mean, this law thing, I hope they can... What is it? I mean, is it official, or can they go back and can they vote again or whatever? Like, because
bill's done, bro.
It's done now.
I think it's official.
You bear in mind, this has taken 50 years.
Fuck my life, bro. This is just mental, bro. Yeah, America's screwed, bro.
But what's gonna happen?
Riots, bro. Statue of Liberty's gone. That's getting burnt down. I'm telling you, watch. I'm telling you, the biggest. I'm telling you, man, watch.
A lot of people will migrate to places like Canada to get it done. So they'll travel to.
So they can go. To
that's valid. Job. But if they ain't got the money, what then? They're screwed.
Because Canada's bigger than America.
Canada's actually meant to be like one of the best places to live in the world.
Canada's beautiful.
Canada's nice though.
I've been there once. It's stunning. It's so clean.
Yeah.
Spotless.
There's no rubbish on the floor.
No rubbish. Like, you literally could.
Yeah, it's nice.
Do you know what I mean?
It's actually nice. It's
Sit
nice.
without no. It's clean.
Trust me.
There's no dirt. You don't smell no urine or
nothing at
like
all.
That.
Nothing.
It's clean.
That's mental. Yeah, I hope. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say anymore. America's just.
I think looking at the article, which is to give some more context or clarity to people that are watching. But one person said, this is a government official from Canada. I think he's a president of Canada, actually. He said, no government, politician or man should tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her
100%.
body.
There you go.
Adding, he can imagine the fear and anger women in US must be experiencing in the wake of ruling. Michelle Obama obviously wrote something.
Yeah, cool. It's peak. It's peak, bro. And he says, what, 50 years for this? 50 years to say, oh, women can't have abortions. Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on, man.
So it's like, I'm just trying to see if So
bro, it's just, I don't know what to say, man. I just feel sorry for every woman.
So like someone said, this is what our mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers lived through. And now here we are again, because obviously before...
Yeah,
also the abortion was not allowed. Then they got it you could have abortions, and now it's gone back to no.
That's mental, bro. Just thinking about it, you can't have an abortion. That's crazy.
There is
Yeah.
going to be.
That's
some
crazy. It's
riots.
actually
You know
mental.
what? I'll be real with you. See the riots that's going to happen now in America?
It's peak, man.
They'll be bigger than George Floyd.
Oh yeah, 100.
100%, no.
100%.
Like it's
100%.
scary.
This
Watch,
is-
just watch the news, innit? Watch.
This is gonna just have every
Every social's gonna blow up.
yeah.
Everything.
Tell a
Twitter,
lie,
everything.
people probably will riot around the world. Watch.
Yeah, oh, yeah, because it's like saying women can't speak out. It's
Not
saying
yeah, not that too. Yeah,
It's saying that every rapist is gonna get away with doing what they want.
yeah, exactly.
And even though, like you said a good point. You know, DNA, and it will detect whether or not they'll go to prison. But regardless, that woman is gonna have to bring up that child, knowing the fact that they've been raped.
Well, it's-
The only
actually-
alternative is that I'm gonna make the child get adopted,
See,
but
what
that's
happen-
still.
See, this is the problem.
Mm.
Like, not that this, in all of this, is the biggest important, the most important thing. Well, it is to an extent when a child's born, unfortunately. But the child, for example, will get put 95%. I will say 90%
Yeah,
of 80% of the children that were conceived through rape will go to a care system, because if the child's young, the child's 14. What happens then? So he gets techie now. So you're telling me a child that, unfortunately, this is what you've got to look at, yeah? As fucked up as this is, rape obviously happens to anyone. It can happen to anyone or any age. Specifically talking about girls, that can happen as young as, and it's disgusting, but 10, 11. Now for 11, 12-year-olds,
Even younger.
trust me.
So are they meant to have the baby?
Even younger.
Even younger. But I think from 12 is when you can.
Well, because the thing is, you can have your
that is just
period from 7
uncomfortable,
now.
fam.
What is it?
From as young as 7 now, and I think it's more like to do what's going in the food and everything. But the youngest girl reported is about 7 years old that she started period. So from 7, that child can have a baby.
Are you not hearing? What's going? Like that's crazy, bro. Come on, man. Oh, mate.
So that 7-year-old could get raped, have a baby, and that 7-year-old cannot have an abortion because it's the law.
No, America, you're fucked. I don't care. You lot are taking the piss, bruv. I don't care, man. This is. I don't know what to say, bro.
See,
It's
here's
annoying,
the
man.
problem here. Can I just say something now? What America have done, arguably, is they'll be guilty of human rights. In the same bracket, that they have condemned Putin. It's the same thing.
Fuck, this is bullshit.
No,
man.
it is the same thing. There's no difference. Obviously, Putin started a war. America have just taken, like, basically human rights away from a woman. That's human rights.
That's
100%.
yeah, man.
So,
That's...
what happens now is, all these countries now need to start throwing sanctions at USA.
Yeah, have to.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Have to.
100%.
They have to, man. They gotta speak up.
But they won't.
They have to.
But they won't. They won't. We can do it.
I don't
It's
know.
empty words. It'd be empty words.
100%.
All these,
Empty words.
all
that
these,
doesn't
all
really
these
help,
guys.
like a fucking 10-year-old who's been
I'm
raped
saying,
and
all
he's
these guys who
raped.
voted as well. These guys got daughters. They've got daughters, and it just makes you think raw. Like, so you rather have you let a woman who can't have an abortion, but what about your daughter? I bet you know what I mean. Like nothing like that. Like
9 times out of 10, if he's got those opinions, more than likely, probably brainwash his daughters to have the
yeah,
same
probably
opinions.
yeah. Sorry, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's
100%.
true. It's true.
Like, again, I'm not trying to say, oh, this is all right and everything. But flip side of it, if they were thinking of the reasons why they're doing it, probably using and thinking, okay, teenage pregnancy, where you're generally, it's teenage relationships and they've had sex, they've made a baby before finishing college, before finishing uni, whatever. Is that going to help prevent it? Well, probably not. Maybe put the fear of them and say, oh, well, I can't get an abortion if I get pregnant, so I'm going to be stuck with a child. But what they should have done, the approach they should have done is they do more health promotion where they're promoting safe sex. teaching young boys how to put a condom on. You'd be surprised of how many people don't know how to put a condom on.
I actually learned that in school.
They don't do that in school as much.
Yeah, I'm going in detail, but yeah, I don't know.
They don't do that in school.
They give you like a wooden fucking
Yeah.
thing to do, and you go like this.
Yeah, I teach social science, so I had to, when I was working in a mixed school, had to teach my class how to put a condom, and that would be young as year 9, so that you're talking like 13, 14-year-old boys and girls as well, to say, listen, if he's not doing it right, this is how you do it, and you have to guide him, you guide him, because it's protection for both of you.
Yeah.
But since working in a girls' school, they don't do that.
Do you know how
They don't do that.
That's
and
crazy.
maybe because you think, oh well, there's no boys, so there's no need for it. But
still learn.
I think, and I think they should still be exposed to it.
Yeah, 100%.
But again, it's spreading awareness, spread about safe sex. But to say no, you can't have an abortion.
That's that
you work
again.
in a high school.
Secondary school, yeah.
So has that ever been brought up by your colleagues
of
sex education and the condom thing?
um.
Or you or any of your colleagues in the school? Is that something that's ever been brought up?
I've tried to say, we should maybe teach more stuff about this, like STIs, for example. Make young people aware of what it's about, because I think it's important. Because, like it or not, young people, if they're going to have sex, they're going to have sex, regardless.
Yeah.
Then you can say how much things that no, wait, etc., blah, blah, blah. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So the thing you need to think about, if they're going to do it, at least let them be safe. Because the unwanted pregnancy is probably least the problem. If that child or young person gets herpes, that's it. You're living with that.
Ugh.
You see what I'm saying?
Mad.
HIV has been on a rise recently as well. And that's another thing. You get it, that's it. You have to learn to live with that condition and how to manage it. Do you know what I mean? But again, it's down to not being aware of how to protect yourself, because you can look at someone and think, oh, they're clean. You don't know what diseases they're linked to. You have no
It's
idea.
true.
You
It's
cannot
true.
make an assumption that that person's fine. And another thing is a person say, oh, well, pull out. Nah. Because you can have a baby with pre-cum. Again, this is not taught in schools.
Yeah, it's
It's
true.
not taught in schools.
See, what's mad is you say that, but I was actually taught a lot about sex education in my school. But I went to a mixed school.
Yeah. So in mixed schools, you're more freer to do that. In the same sex schools, I obviously I've never worked in an all boys school, but working from an all girls school, it's very rigid of what is promoted, what's not promoted. Which I think is wrong, because I feel like they're always going to ask questions, so why not give them the answers? At least they're in a safe environment, they're being educated. Obviously certain parents can feel like, no, I don't want my child to learn that, and fair enough, it's your child, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I
knowing
disagree with that though, because I think you've got to learn at some point.
Not every parent wants their kid to
So
learn.
you're just not going to learn about safety.
No, I'm not saying that.
I genuinely think there's no argument that someone can have. Personally, my opinion,
Go on.
might disagree, but
Yeah.
there's no argument someone can have to reasons about learning about safe sex, because you're not if you don't want them to do it,
Yeah.
you're definitely not talking to them about it at home. So it's a difference really between your daughter or son having a baby at fucking 15 in some cases.
Yeah,
and
it's
not.
true.
Because like you said, if they want to have sex, they'll have sex. So if they know 15, 16, they know to wear a condom, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's going to save you a lot of hassle in the long run, because you're going to have to finance that baby because that child's 15, 16.
Mental.
Exactly.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
So I don't agree with that. The parent shouldn't disagrees, because for me, I think you'll probably do it, and you'll have kids who are being silly in class about it because they're young.
Yeah.
They'll see a wooden dick come out, and they're like, "Oh, you're gay in front of them."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And all
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
But or a a condom comes out and like they're just making stupid comments.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I was in high school, people were doing it, like, and everyone found it funny. Bruv, we had to watch some graphical video, bruv, about intercourse. Like, it was people were busting up watching it, and that was the age they were at because we were young.
Yeah.
But I can tell you now, everything I watched in that class, I remember to this day. That personally, my experience with sex education at a young age, I don't think it was a bad thing. The only people that said no, or like they weren't involved, they went and done something else, was I'd probably say the really religious people. Other than that, everyone else in my class done it.
Yeah.
But to an extent, it's difficult because as a teacher in a school, it's hard for you because religion comes into it, and that's. And you can't really argue. You can't argue with any of the parents. It's their choice at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Me personally, I'm not a teacher, so I'm gonna say what I want in it. But no, but what I'm saying is, the religion. I can understand why that might be a bit of a harder conversation to have.
Yeah, that would
Other
be.
than that, I really think if there's no other reason, then I don't want them to just know about sex right now.
Yeah.
You're definitely not going to teach them about it in 2 years.
Oh no.
So. And what I mean by you as in, like, the parent is not talking to them about it. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. Someone's definitely got to do it.
My mum never spoke to me about sex, ever.
Birds and bees, bruv.
Do you know why, though?
Did.
Do you know why? Because I was learning about it in school. She
Yeah.
asked one question, but I didn't want to talk to my mum about it.
Yeah.
I was talking to my mum.
It's mad you say, did I talk to someone about it?
No, but like, I kind of come on a vibe of I don't want to talk to my mum about that shit.
No, I didn't.
Like, I'll be honest with you. I learned it in school.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Mum asked me questions. I'm like, I just giggled, innit?
Yeah.
I just giggled. I was like, no. I told my dad though.
But you're right though. Like, when you go back to, obviously, just to close up because we've got to finish in a minute. But in America, definitely now there needs to be a much more in-depth education on sex. Sex in schools, like, not just. I think with what's gone on now, I don't even think the videos on safe sex is enough.
Yeah.
I think there has, like, do you know what it is? Yeah, rape is so high in America, UK, the world. Like, I would say, if we're talking about here, like, we done the podcast with Gwenton last week, and he said in London at the moment there was a stat. The crime rate in Hackney, for example, is really high. It's not knife crime, it's not gang warfare, it's rape.
Yes.
Rape is the highest stated crime in Hackney.
Yeah.
So my thing is it going to come to a point where we're going to have to do videos where it literally says what is right and wrong, what you can and can't do, what you can and can't say, without permission.
Yeah.
Whole subjects around it. Because I think some people are going to need it, bro.
That awareness.
I'd make my child go to it. I'll be real with you. Like, if I had two sons, like, it's bad, but you have to do these things where, like, they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're like these classes, like, for example, where you're teaching them literally about what you can and can't say. I know it sounds stupid, but
I don't think it's stupid.
It's needed.
I think it's needed. Generation's different now.
Yeah.
They don't have the literacy skills.
Yeah, it's different now. They're like, oh yeah, let's do this. It's not good, bro. That would be a blessing if that could happen, but.
Like, because I think for us growing up, the condom thing was fine, putting it on, blah blah blah. But I think now, because of how high the rape stat is in the UK as well, if you compare it, if we're talking about it because of what's happened in America, definitely, like, something needs to be done. Something needs to be done.
100%.
Otherwise, people are just going to carry on. Obviously, you had the whole thing with the. I don't know what he actually exactly done to her, but that's Sarah Everett.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
He was taken by a police officer on duty. So then, like, when you see, like, as a woman makes that happen, all it does is put anxiety and fear in you, and it makes you think, well, I can't even trust the police.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
100%. You can't trust the law. Again, and
like, you coming up to me showing your badge doesn't mean nothing.
Not anymore. No, not
because
fair.
of that one police officer, he's fucked the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Fucked it. If anyone comes up to you late in the night and you're a female,
that's it.
You're like, what the fuck?
What are you doing?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah, I notice it as a man. Yeah, but have you ever had this where you're just walking behind someone? Yeah, and you take steps back because you feel like you're being intimidating just walking behind someone. As a man, I always see that.
Yeah,
I take
been
steps
through that.
back because I'm just like, I don't want.
It's
the
mad,
person
but
to think
I've crossed the
I'm
road.
following them. Like I'm not. I'm walking behind them. But I know that they're panicking, so I just
because they feel like
Do you get what I mean?
yeah.
It's nuts that women like.
It's
like
mad.
Someone was saying they have to walk down the road with one headphone in. I can walk down there with two because I'm not going to get raped or assaulted.
You never know.
I hear that, but women stand more chance for Donny.
I hear that.
But what I'm saying to you is you'll see more men walking down the road if they're on their own with two headphones in.
Then a woman.
Yeah.
That's true. That's valid. That's true.
But but obviously, finishing on that, what do you got anything like to end the episode with to say just about? It's a bit of it's a very big subject. Obviously, I think
this is not gonna end, bro.
It's not gonna end.
This is not gonna end.
Nah.
Like I said, the statutory is getting licked down. But anyway,
No, it's not gonna end. But do you know what? It's just like on a positive note or an awareness note, like anybody that is like affected by these kind of talks, you know, like don't be afraid to like reach out. Like, you know, there's loads of like websites and phone lines that you can look at to kind of get support and guidance. And I just think also like people that have been victims of that type of abuse, like to just not always don't believe it's their fault, because I think that's another thing that prevents people from wanting to call out, because they feel like, oh, it's the reason why that's happened to me. And that's never ever the case. Like, people have control of their behavior, you don't have control of theirs, you only have control of your own kind of thing, so you can't blame something that was beyond your control. But yeah, just literally, I don't know, man, just keep the movement going, positive movements going. You know what I mean?
For you as a woman, if you see like men talking about rape and talking about things, do you like, and I'm not, so you don't speak for all women obviously, but is it a thing of like more support if you see more men talking about it for women?
I think when I see men talk about consent, I think that's definitely powerful. And I think sometimes that's more powerful coming from a man than a woman. Not discrediting us as females for speaking about it, but I think with some men, they're unaware of what consent is. You could ask them and they say, oh, consent is like you give permission, but permission for what? Like, you could look at it as like a permission to sign in a letter to say, I've given permission for this to happen. But when it comes to a sexual content, are you fully aware? Because a woman might not verbally say no, but her body language is saying, don't touch me, kind of thing. And they don't look at it as like, well, she didn't say no. She didn't say no verbally, but non-verbally she did. But you still protest to carry on. Because it's the same for a woman. If a man's like saying, no, I'm not really on that, but then a woman just grabs his crutch like it's nothing, you're sexually assaulting that man because he said, do you know what I mean, leave me be. Or if he's like pushing your hand away, saying leave it be. So yeah, I think it's just consent. Men talking about consent, I think, is powerful, because it's making aware, especially for young guys as well, young teenager boys.
What about you, Donny?
Well, what?
As in, like, just to finish off what we was talking about, what do you think?
Bruv,
about
everyone needs help, man. That's it, bro. Everyone needs help. On what you said about consent thing, yeah, that's a good thing as well. Like, guys should, not a lot of guys, not young guys, don't know what it is. They just think, like you said, the body language, and she's buff, so she's on it still. But she's not on it. She might give you a little smile. It don't mean she's said jump on me. It's a smile. You find you attractive, or you look cute, but I'm gonna keep moving. That don't mean I'm gonna get her now. It don't work like that. So these young guys need to just fix up and pattern up when it comes to stuff like that, because it's not a good look, man.
Yeah, 100.
It's not a good look, literally.
100.
Following on from that, yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely changed the way men, like even in a party maybe environment or going out, it's changed the way they move to women.
Even that, bro.
It's changed.
Brother.
It's changed. You can't just grab people up. Do you remember when we were in Box Park and we seen the people in Box Park?
Let's not,
No. But I'm saying I said it to you though, innit?
It was bait, man.
No,
But then
I said it. We was in Box Park just to end very quickly.
Mm.
We'd seen like a guy, multiple guys. They would like a girl would walk past them and they'd be like this, just grabbing them. Like, and I'm thinking, bruv, like how are you grabbing someone without? But I always found that nuts anyway. Prior to all these talks, like, I always found that nuts. I'll be honest with you. Like, I just think.
But
if they talk to you, they talk to you. If they don't,
exactly.
keep moving.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
sorry, I know we're going again, yeah. But I feel like a lot of guys will be in a club or whatever, yeah. I'm not saying you can't make eye contact, you can't smile. It's a club, so you're gonna be like, on a hype, whatever. She might smile at you. Cool. That doesn't mean she wants you to dance with her. It don't mean that.
100.
Yeah.
100.
And then a lot of girls will dance with their friends, and it's like, boom, cause she smiled at me, I'm gonna try a thing. You try one up on her. What you doing? Oh, you're ugly anyway, your butters. Like, just let it go, bro. Like, she said that.
She wasn't interested.
Just let it go. But no, because she said that, you're going to punch her in her face. I've witnessed that, bro. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
I said no, and she's like, oh, shut, you're ugly anyway. Bam. It's like, raw. Like,
yeah. It's rejection.
it's mental.
It's
It's crazy. Imagine it's the other way around.
And some guys pester you, like.
I've seen it. So it's
recently,
not that. It's not that.
A guy tried to come up to me and dance. I said, no, I'm good, thank you. And like, no, but I want to dance with you. I said, yeah, but I don't want to dance with you.
That's mental.
Like, we're having this back to front. I said, I don't want to dance with you.
But I said, no, what's the problem?
I said, no. And then he followed. I said, listen. I said, you do not want this. You really don't want this, but you don't.
That's
and
mental.
It's literally, it's like, it's kind of like, how dare you say no to me? I just did get used to it. No, I don't want you to touch me.
I think, it's one of them ones that,
me.
yeah, exactly.
Period.
Because he's well known, probably. They're thinking, no, guy can't tell me no. Do you know who I am?
I've definitely had fucking sunglasses on. Did he have sunglasses on?
No, we didn't actually. No.
You know the ones there.
Yeah,
You know the ones there. The ones there, boy. Got the shades on and inside the rave, and it's mad. Like they got the girl, they might dance with the girl one time, and that's it. She's mine for the whole night. But she don't want to be for the whole night with him. But she's trapped. It's like, and I've seen it. It's like, yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching the podcast. You want to shout your socials out as well again?
Yes, so you can hit me up on Instagram at Truthsdebate 2020, and also you can catch me on Top FM 95.5 every Sunday between the hours of 10 p.m. 12 a.m.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Waffletop PC for Instagram, Waffletop Podcast for Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, please. And follow all the socials.
Please.
And catch you again soon.